Hey, welcome to This Old Bike, brought to you by I Know a Guy Bicycles. With this particular episode, we're going to do an editor's cut of revamping what was already released, kind of repurposed on its own channel. Welcome to This Old Bike. From here, we're going to take my 35 years experience, remaster the classics of the old days, 10 years or older bikes, as well as some tech tips in addition to vintage tools. Well, thank you for hanging out with my 35 years of experience. I'm going to guide you through this journey of checking out these classic bikes. Brought to you by The Guy. Gonna blow my mind! Reason being is I like cyclocross bikes. Why? They are pre-gravel bikes. Gravel. Before disc brakes became a thing, cyclocross bikes were the gravel bike. Unfortunately, back in the day, they only made like one or two models in each one, so they didn't really have a choice of color or component package. But over the years, they realized that not everybody wants a skinny little tire to go on those bike paths or whatever kind of riding they do. So it's kind of like your road bike hybrid in a sense. Cyclocross bike, I don't do the races. No, never had the chance. I'm not a very good runner anyway, but in any case, the cyclocross bike drew my attention back in the 90s because it was versatile. I actually took an old hybrid bike, put drop bars on it, and that was my first commuter bike. Great little commuters. Great to be able to jump off the road if you need to. If you're going to go camping, got dirt roads, got mile single track, you can do all that kind of riding. So my next bike was not a hybrid. It was actually a true cyclocross, which was from Trek, OX1, I think. And then I had a Fuji Cross. And then I have currently today a Pop Ride, which is a full steel, which I love the feel of steel. I always fell in love with it when I had my first Mongoose back in the day that actually had Ritchie tubing. Super light, very forgiving, all those different properties that people enjoy riding steel. If you haven't gotten a nice higher end steel bike, not the 10, 20, whatever, the high tensile steel, don't get those. But the higher end ones are more comfortable to ride. That's definitely something you want to at least try because you might fall in love with it. Also, the titaniums is like the poor person's steel is the chromalies, the titaniums are the high end. Reason why titanium was expensive in the 90s was, well, basically we only had one place to get a lot of titanium at the time was Russia. And now, a little more open sourced-ish, titanium prices have come down. I'm not sure if they found more refineries or some other areas, but titanium is a little bit more affordable now. And even with our current markets, the prices have dropped down on used, so it's a great opportunity. Also, it is repairable. Now, like carbon fiber can be repaired, aluminums cannot. So with the different types of materials out there for making frames, if you do get a titanium bike for some reason it has an issue, you can get it repaired or also modified to do disc brakes and so forth. I've seen those happen too. There's a shop in Fort Collins, Colorado called Black Sheep. Check them out. If you need to do any modifications and so forth, I know they've done that to other titanium bikes for my customers that I have. Excellent work, beautiful work. And they also build frames too. Definitely check them out. Good local company. Not a plug. I just admire their work. Never met the guy, but apparently James is a pretty cool guy. In any case, this particular Litespeed is a pretty good household name within the titanium realm. And what makes it a cyclocross is it has brake bosses for cantilever style brakes. This one actually used mountain bike calipers from Shimano XT and did a little modifier roller on there to convert to the actual pull of the brake levers. They are a little bit different. That's why they have specialty ones that go for those too. I think I may have a set. I might swap them out. I'll have to double check my parts on that. Essentially, I got this cap from a former mechanic at Lee Cyclery, and yeah, I saw his post. I'm like, hey, I know you. And he was like, oh, I know you too. And it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, I built it up, and it's not quite my style of bike. It probably would have been a little more of a style of bike if you put a little more of a riser stem on this and not so aggressively low. But everybody has their own fit and preference for riding. Body will talk to you too. So that's a big perspective as well as being fitted to a bike. Not was really a cup of tea. He has a couple other bikes, like any mechanic. We have like too many to count, and don't have no time to ride. So he decided to part ways with this one with a pretty decent price. But he went through it, rode it a couple times, so it is a little dirty. But I don't think I need to do the whole magic tune-up on this. Basically, just do a drivetrain clean and clean the parts and put it back together. Oh wait, that's pretty much the same thing what I do anyway. In any case, I'll be doing a little bit of detail, cleaning of the frame. Put a nice ceramic coating on it, as well as the wheels. These wheels are kind of cool because they're Ultegra wheels, hubs with Open Pro Mavic rims. Was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was our go-to custom builds back then because that made you a solid, strong wheel set. This wheel set with that also, it actually has a little sticker on it. I'll show it here that has a Wheelsmith serial number on it, which means, you guessed it, high-end spokes, high-end hubs, high-end rims make awesome wheels for cyclocross because they're very durable, very strong. This is precursor to 29ers for those who are just like, oh, what do you mean by 700C? Well, 29ers is that. They just use a wider tire. This is the precursor to that. So if you're doing a lot of kind of cyclocross riding with bigger balloon tires, like 48, 45, 48, depending on the frame can accommodate it, yeah, you had your pretty close, just not the straight bar 29er, just a drop bar 29er. Any case, this is awesome. I can't wait to dive into this and show little features on it. But before we do that, I'm going to go look for some parts. I'm doing a debate, really, if I want to switch out these bar and stem combo to a little more of a modern stem bar. It is, I believe, a 1-inch steer tube, which means I'll have to do a conversion for the clamp for the 1.1/8, which also will give me a wider bar clamp to put the 31/8 bar on there. So I'm debating that. If I do that, the former mechanic really tightened the cables up to bring up. I will have to replace the cables and housing. To me, really not that big a deal. Kind of like, I want to do it right, cyclocross fit with more modern parts. I just have to do it. I got to see if I have my little cheaters to go on there too, or maybe get halfway there. I don't know. We'll see what we can do on this guy. But it has Ultegra componentry, which is your Shimano Ultegra is the second step down from the top line from Dura-Ace, which is great stuff. It is a little bit older, but this particular 6500 series Ultegra componentry, bomb-proof. The stuff works well. They made it for like 5 to 8 years and made a ton of it, so you can find extra parts. Actually, I have chain rings still that I'm not putting on this, just randomly from cleaning from other parts. I mean, you can get definitely replacement parts if needed without paying a lot of money, and it's also works really well and it holds up, tested time. Plus this one has a triple for those things called hills. I'm all for the front derailleur. Why ditch the triple? Reason being is that small granny gear, when you need it, you need it. I mean, it's monster hills, bad headwinds, bad day, all three at the same time. That's your gear. Granted, you're only in it like 2% of the time your whole riding experience, but it's nice to have when you need it. In any case, it has a pretty decent mid-ring and big ring, and then you can play around in the back on those too. If you really want to get fancy, you can put like a mountain bike rear derailleur and get a mountain bike cassette on the back to give you a wider range. Personally, I like the triple with a tighter cassette, like a 1228 or 1128 in the back that gives you a smoother transition through the shifting, so you can find that perfect gear. I kind of like to have the perfect gear versus compromising for too hard or too easy. That's a me thing, but in any case, the industry is driving the other direction. I think they're driving off a cliff, but that's my opinion too. So yeah, I mean, pretty decent bike, frame and fork. Debated just selling the frame separately and just sold the parts, but I figure I'm just going to give it a whirl and give it all refurbished and tuned up and add those little higher up features, because cyclocross, you're not down, you're a little more upright. That's another reason why I like about it, because the older I get, the more upright I want to be. Look at my roll Specialized. I'm totally like chilling. In any case, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to definitely do that. Give it a little bit of beautification. Passionately, I can't even say it right. It's off of a trail and somewhere. In any case, yeah, here we go. First, so got to scrounge some parts. Going to clean the drivetrain, Probably do a little feature on the cleaning of the frame because, man, these are some beautiful welds. I definitely need to show that off and figure if I want to swap those brakes out to more the traditional current brakes and maybe just sell the XTs and then go back to actual mountain bike, that kind of thing. But in any case, that's what we're going to dive into. Also, the bottom brackets on this is a 31/8 shell or 38 millimeter shell. Standard sizing. You always, this frame is upgradable. I mean, even though it has a 1-inch headset, not a problem because there's conversion kits and you can switch it out. At least it comes out with a aluminum fork, which is kind of interesting. Aluminum fork. It's stamped Litespeed, so I mean, it was on there originally. I've ridden an aluminum fork for cyclocross. It's fine. Actually, it's probably a nice rigid control factor up front, and then you got the titanium comfort in the actual body of it. So, but in any case, just wanted to dive into this and let's see what kind of parts and review what we're going to dive into next. So let's see how fast I could smash this, right? Get my skills down. Gonna have to crank it out because I got to get a couple bikes done today. So, and it's already early afternoon. I think there's an Einstein relative time dilation according to age. It's some weird paradox that the older you get, the faster time goes. Well, it sure hell feels like it. In any case, whew, finally get a chance where I've been working trying to get to this bike since 7 a.m. this morning, and here it is like 2 in the afternoon. So, lo and behold, let's dive into this. And so, cooking parts, cleaning the wheels, going to pull the brakes off, put those in the ultrasonic cleaner too. I'm going to try to save as much of the cables and the housing as possible. Reason being, why waste it? It was new, put on there originally from the mechanic that did put this together. Why am I doing the drivetrain and the brake clean? Well, rode it a couple times, it got gunk up and dirty. I want to make sure it's super clean for the next owner of this particular bike and also readjust all those parts that need to be readjusted. In any case, nothing against the former mechanic, not at all. Did an spectacular job working on this bike and get it going. I'm just going to do my personal touch of my years of doing this and kind of bring it more of a neutral cockpit fitting with a shorter stem and a more traditional bar size 31/8 with the, I'm going to use the Kona flare out bars. So kind of more of that gravel-ish style, which this is a cyclocross bike, which is a precursor to gravel, as most of us know in industry. But if you didn't know, cyclocross became gravel, and gravel now is a multi-purpose road bike that everybody's looking for today. In any case, this is going to be awesome titanium, beautiful. Got a black seat post to match the black stem to give it more of that stealthy look. I'm going to put black bar tape. Purple is really not my vibe, and I found, note to self, when I sell a lot of bikes, I used to play with different colors at the beginning, realizing that everybody just wants to go back to black. So I just buy black bar tape. Not saying that color's not cool. I love colors. I have fluorescent yellow handlebar tape on my bike, but for selling, resell, if you're thinking about doing something, getting bar tape to put on your bike, to put it on the market to sell, just go with basic black because that's where it's not going to be a deterrent. It's just going to say you got new bar tape. Good. If you want something different, wear that out and put it on different later. Any case, let's review the parts after I get this whole thing slammed clean. Clean, clean, slam, slam, clean, clean, slam. No, wait. Oh, that's ceramic slam. Yeah, we're going to do that to the frame too. Beautiful titanium, making it shine. All right, here we go. We got the Oil Control Tech, American-made stem and Formula 3D bars. This is the American Flyer seat post, which is crazy. I will put the WTB saddle back on there. This is what we got. We got a clean chain, cassette. Where's that cassette? Oh, the cassette's on the wheel. Chain ring, chain wheels. Got a rear derailleur. It cleaned up pretty good. It's front skewers, of course. These I'll probably keep. Put regular platforms. People have their own preferences on pedals. Here's the brakes. I did clean them, take them off the clean. Reason being is I'm gonna get all that gunk off. Oh, I'm missing a screw. Oh well. I'll find that at some point here soon, hopefully. In any case, it's probably still in the basket. Anyway, I've got some ceramic slam. Okay, I want to talk about these wheels. See, it's a Mavic Open Pro, which were known rims for the 90s and early 2000s of being a high-end, double-wall, eyeletted rim, and preferably used for custom wheel building. Wheelsmith spokes, which were back in the day, and if they're probably not today, top of the line spokes, double butted 14-15 gauge with alloy nipples, backed up with Ultegra hubs front and rear. So this is a very common wheel set we would custom build for customers because we can do a 3-cross lace, which is what you're seeing here, additional strength. When you have like, how we had customers that were like 250 on road bikes and they would bunny hop road tracks and just tweak the wheels of the 90s, this was the solution. This just gives me chills just thinking about how strong these wheels are. And Professional Belt would put a sticker with the actual Wheelsmith number on there. Although, one oversight, see the Presto valve hole? My dad would make sure you would see the logo here, not on another part. So there's the logo of the hub. Idea is when he would sit down on the kitchen table at night after a long day of work, he would do it this way. Spoke valve, logo. That's just a level of attention to detail when custom building wheels. So the rear one was done right. The front one, I don't know. Were they done at the same time? I would assume so, because they have the sticker for the Wheelsmith. So either did it right on the rear one, or luckily by mischance of doing it. But in any case, there we go. Also, what we would do is the outside spoke J-bin would go towards the front of the rotation of the wheel. This one's backwards. It's facing towards the back portion. In theory back then, which it could be wrong. I mean, throw in the comments below if this is old school stuff, but this direction would be going this direction forward instead of going this direction, but the hub logo would be upside down. So, you know, honestly, probably not that much difference in strength, but that was kind of the going theory of the 90s wheel building. So there you have it. So you got a lot of traditional parts of the late 90s, early 2000s. This Ultegra componentry was built for 5 or 6 years, and it is a workhorse. It just works great. And this is the older version because they changed the caps on the front. But man, bam, look at that frame. I haven't knocked it down yet, but it has a 2-stack, a ceramic coating from ceramic slam from lithium, which is really superb on titanium. This is like the 3rd titanium frame I used the ceramic slam on. And let's just do a little review of that titanium. So you see there's like a light dullness, right? And once you start wiping, and you feel it kind of catch like a tack to it, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, super slick. Whoa, I can, you know, it's like crazy. So the reason why I did that, these stickers, which you've already kind of see starting to do a little cracking from sun. If you put a ceramic coating on there, they'll help prevent that because ceramic coatings have UV protection. That's one of the main reasons why you're putting a ceramic coating on your car, on your bike frame, and so forth, for protection, water beading and shedding, for easy to clean, in addition to ultraviolet protection. Well, in addition to it, makes it super smooth and brings out that freaking shine. It's just, I can't. And unfortunately, this is my size. Oh boy. Yeah, I better not test ride this. I better just throw it online to sell because I will end up buying it myself. In any case, and check out those bars. Kind of cool, you know, a little updated version of that. So let's recap. Woo-wee, it's getting hot in here. This is the time of year where the garage gets in the 80 degrees, like flip side. You can see the door crack to the house where I kind of push in a little bit of that AC air from the house into the garage. Keeps it manageable, right? And some days when it gets really super hot. In any case, I even forgot to turn on the lights when I did this, the reveal of the shine. I mean, this is just cannot say more how cool that ceramic coating does to titanium. It's a really beautiful paint jobs. 2-ply with applicator like here. The stuff, I think it's around $39.99, somewhere around there. But don't shy away from the price because, yeah, if you're doing your car, this is supposed to do 8 covers-ish, maybe. I haven't done it on the car, so I don't know. I've only done it on bikes. I'm a bike guy. In any case, I've done several bikes and rims and different various parts. So you can do plastics and the anodized, and I like the black spokes being coated with the ceramic coating because it brings that shine back to it, because you get that dulling sometimes when you clean them. So there's a little gold nugget for you. So this stuff really works well. You don't have to get the lithium brand. I also have the atoms, the graphene ceramic coating, which works really well. Then there's a couple inexpensive ones. There's a couple that I got from Walmart that I just do on inexpensive. Well, not inexpensive. Let's not back up. On bike tune-ups that I do that doesn't have the detailing package, but I still do a coating on the frame and the rims just because with the lesser expensive bulk ceramic, at least it gives them something. So I do a variety of different ceramics from the higher end like lithium and atoms versus the other brands. Well, that does a protection on the frame, parts, rubber pieces, plastic pieces, helps stuff get, you know, when it gets on there like grease or dirt or whatever, it sheds off a little bit easier, gives that barrier between the actual surface of the metal. Especially if you have like a matte finish metal like these. These are a booger to clean when they get dirty. So if you put a nice ceramic coating on top of that, they'll kind of help prevent that. Will it last forever? No, but it actually keeps it good. And Color Crush is another brand that helps re-energize the ceramic coating if you want to do a clean polish without actually doing a coating and detail clean. In any case, that's what's awesome about ceramic coating. Then you can also put it in your metal parts like the crank arms and so forth to give that extra shine. I guess I got a little bit left on the pad here where I can actually, that's what I do too. Is I do the frame and do the wheels, then I do all the extra little bits just to give it a little extra shine, a little extra protection. Why not? Because I already have it on the pad indicator instead of just, because I wash these pretty much immediately before they completely dry. Because if it completely dries, it gets completely dirty. You can wash that grime that you see right now off. Using basically dish soap or Dawn soap, that kind of thing, in hot water. But yeah, I do like a nice little coating. That just gives a little extra protection. You can go really crazy with the ceramic. I mean, if you really want to dip your cassette and so forth, not your chain, you want to wax your chain, that's what you want to do if you want to do a higher end performance. But in any case, this is one awesome bike. Yes, it was sold to me from a former mechanic, been working in the industry for years. He rode it for a while, so it wasn't fine-tuned or completely clean for showcase, showing, selling. The drivetrain needed to be clean. It had some funky grease that he liked on there. It really kind of caked up and it was really kind of hard to get off. But I got it all off. Put a light lube on there. I'm going to use, without not using wax, but I'm using a Rock and Road. The label fell off of this one. But Rock and Road lube, which works pretty well. Keeps it clean and it also sheds off cleanly, easily, so you don't have that cakey buildup that you have to really scrub to get off. Put the bullhorn type bars, a little bit flared out, more gravel ride style. Gonna make it more gravelish with a shorter stem to bring the cockpit in closer for a person like me with a short torso, or for that more upper lift sitting position. Beautiful titanium frame. It is in immaculate shape. Also, when I clean, a couple different layers of cleaning, in addition to pre-rinse, addition to ceramic coating two, three times in the stack areas. I'm going over the frame and fork multiple, I would say 7, 8 times to, you know, if I see anything, a crack or anything like that, it'll definitely be shown up when I do the super detailed inspection by cleaning and ceramic coating. So that's a huge benefit, as well as the wheels too. That's where I find like the cracks and the rim wheels and all that kind of deal usually. But you know, componentry looks pretty good. The cassette turned out pretty good. It was pretty caked up. I had to use a wire brush to get some of that off. I'm going to probably change up my process of cleaning the cassettes first on the Freya body. This is a little bit easier to grind than versus in your hand loosely. So that's another little gold nugget there. These have these actuators, converters for V-brakes. The road bike pole has different. It doesn't pull enough cable. So this ramp kind of pulley system is designed to be able to use V-brakes. It actually works really well. I got a tandem in the works that's coming up. Has the same brakes, VXT's Shimano brakes to V-brakes, same vintage even, and with the rollers too. That actually gives that extra stocking power, and on tandems, you sure hell need it because you got a whole nother body mass that you're trying to slow down. Newer bikes, of course, have disc brakes. Also, some of them have the drum brakes in the back. Anyway, back to the titanium Litespeed. Cyclocross. Oh man, this I thought it was too big for me until I measured it out. I'm like, oh, it's really close to my Le Mans, but I can't let go of my Le Mans. Le Mans is my pride and joy and beauty. A deficit portion on this bike that might be limited. It is a 1-inch steer tube. Kind of tricky bit on that. Reason being is you're going to be limited to forks. If you want to put a carbon fork on there, you might have 1 or 2 that are a Chinese knockoff brand of some sort, but if you're looking for a specific, they may not be available. Could you? You could. You can take it to a titanium builder, like we have a Black Sheep titanium custom builder. He's, I think, a 1-2 guy in a garage, not a garage, but like, you know, the smaller shop. He builds titaniums. He also will do modifications. You could take this frame to him and have a 1.1/8" steer tube put on there to be rewelded. That's what's nice about titanium. You can modify it if you wanted it. If I was going to do that, I would have the modification done for the disc brake and have, I've seen it done on another bike, beautiful work, kind of an extension, so you can do like a 27B even on this, or, you know, maybe a little bit wider, then have a carbon fork or a fork with suspension, whatever direction you want to go, and if you have an 1.1/8" head tube. Yeah, that's a cost to that. I think conversions like that are anywhere between $300 to $600, so it really depends how much money you want to throw at it. There's always a fine line. Where's the line that it's just going to go get a new one? Something like that. Any case. Well, awesome. Well, that concludes this episode of This Old Bike. Thank you for tuning in and watching through the final reveal of the perfect bike for you. Maybe, maybe not. But in any case, I hope you learned some things along the way in the journey of a bike mechanic refurbishing these particular beautiful gems of the past, which are very relevant of today. Thanks for tuning in, and you will find other videos like these. Go ahead and click here to enjoy more refurbished, detailed bikes that are from the past.